Intentional thought literally rewrites your brain's genetic code. This isn't just about building new pathways. It is like editing the operating manual of who you are, down to the cellular level. Think of epigenetic tags not as permanent hardware changes, but as tiny dimmer switches on every single gene in your neurons. When you achieve a state of intense focus or profound emotional resonance, those internal states flip these switches. They turn specific genes up or down, like flipping an amplifier dial, and this lasting change stabilizes the very structure of how your mind operates long after the moment passes. This is what we call sustained neuronal network modification, and it means willpower isn't just a feeling, it's a biophysical signal. It's not just about making new connections, it's about changing the instructions for those connections. Think of your brain like a giant city where genes are the original building code. Epigenetics is how you can rewrite that code without touching the DNA itself. When we maintain deep focus or a sustained emotional resonance, our cellular machinery physically modifies local chromatin structure through processes like histone acetylation. This isn't metaphor. These changes actually alter which genetic instructions, like those for plasticity, are turned on and off in your neurons. It suggests that consistent mental training sculpts the biological blueprint of your mind itself. Forget thinking about willpower as something you simply muster up. What if your intense focus, the very intention of your mind, was actually writing code into your brain? It's not just connecting neurons, it's changing them at the instruction level. Sustained mental states physically modify chromatin structure through processes like histone acetylation. Imagine turning a complex biological blueprint page and rewriting key sentences without ever touching the ink. That is happening right now in your nervous system based on what you pay attention to. This mechanism of inner blueprint rewrite suggests that specific emotional or attentional resonance becomes a form of soul signature encoding for your brain's hardware, which means something nobody expected for how quickly deep internal work can actually alter fundamental biological architecture, and we are only just scratching the surface of that idea. What if your deepest intentions aren't just thoughts but physical instructions for your cells? Imagine that sustained focus acts like a master programmer rewriting the code of your own operating system. This isn't abstract philosophy. Research shows certain states, deep attention or intense emotion, actually modify chromatin structure via histone acetylation and methylation. Think of it as gently adjusting the soil in a garden to allow entirely new, desired types of roots to grow stronger. Yet some studies suggest these epigenetic marks might be far more rigid than we assume. Are our conscious choices truly capable of rewriting the core narrative? We need to look deeper into how memory achieves permanent cellular encoding next. Imagine your mental state isn't just activity happening in wires, it's actual biological software being written moment by moment. Sustained states of focus or profound emotion do more than fire synapses, they fundamentally edit the cellular code itself. Think of your brain as a giant construction site where intention is the blueprint rewrite and gene expression is the building material. It means the very structure supporting how you think can shift in real time based on sustained consciousness. The initial signal fires, altering local chromatin structures. But what happens next to stabilize that change across decades? We used to think our mental wiring was fixed, like architecture set in stone when we were young. But imagine that capacity isn't stone at all. It's an intricate manuscript waiting for its edits. Your intentional states, your deepest moments of focused experience, they aren't just strengthening old pathways. They are performing a fundamental rewrite on the cellular instruction manual itself. It is literally changing how our genes can be expressed by altering the chemical tags around the DNA structure. This isn't a metaphoric willpower. It's biophysical sculpting of your own internal code. If we can stabilize specific subjective states this way, what does that tell us about consciousness? And if intention changes the script, why have these patterns always felt so resistant to change until now? What if the feeling that your core wiring is permanent, that you are locked into a predetermined mental state, is just an illusion of architecture? Think about DNA not as finished code, but as a massive library with chapters you can actively highlight or suppress. Every deep sustained focus, every specific emotional resonance isn't just changing how fast those connections fire, it's physically editing the instruction manual itself. It changes which genes are permitted to express in your neurons. The inner blueprint is rewritable. And this shift, we call it epigenetic sculpting of neuronal network state. What happens when that change stabilizes? The biggest shift isn't in building new connections. It's knowing that you can edit the code of existing ones. Imagine your neuronal state not as fixed concrete, but as a software program running on hardware. Sustained intentionality allows us to apply updates, molecular instructions changing how genes behave without altering the underlying DNA sequence itself. This is the inner blueprint rewrite in action. It means focused attention and specific internal states are physically remodeling your neural architecture over time. Your capacity for self-definition isn't a metaphor. It's an empirical biophysical mechanism accessible to you right now. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. We have seen that your mental wiring is not fixed clay but responsive soil. Imagine trying to improve a garden by simply pulling weeds. You might get momentary results. But true change happens when you fundamentally alter the chemistry of the dirt itself, the underlying blueprint. Sustained states of deep attention or focused emotional resonance do exactly this. They trigger precise shifts in gene expression within your brain, stabilizing new functional modes that become integrated into who you are. Your capacity for self-redefinition is biophysically real. It requires disciplined input. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.